Good morning, Little Masters, and welcome to today's Tolkien Times. I'm the Man of the West, also from the Prancing Pony podcast. Thank you for joining me as I head back into the rich poetry found in Tolkien's epic poem, The Lay of Leithian. Now, last week, we began Canto 11 as Nargothrond rejected Feanor's sons, and Beren regretted ever dragging Lúthien into all this. Today, we continue Canto 11 as Curufin and Celegorm's egos are writing checks their bodies can't cash, and Huan proves to be the bestest boy. But first, we pick up with Lúthien arguing with Beren and his intent to leave her in Doriath, where she would be safe. That may not be, for bonds there are stronger than stone or iron bar, more strong than proudly spoken oath. Have I not plighted thee my troth? Hath love no pride nor honor then, or dost thou deem then, Lúthien, so frail of purpose, light of love? By stars of Elbereth above, if thou wilt here my hand forsake, and leave me lonely paths to take, then Lúthien will not go home, but weeping in the woods will roam, nor peril heed, nor laughter know. And if she may not by thee go, against thy will, thy desperate feet she will pursue, until we meet, beyond all hope, in love once more, on earth or on the shadowy shore. Nay, Lúthien, most brave of heart, thou makest it more hard to part. Thy love me drew from bondage drear, but never to that outer fear, that darkest mansion of all dread, shall thy most blissful light be led. Never, never, he shuddering said. But even as in his arms she pled, a sound came like a hurrying storm. There Curufin and Celegorm, in sudden tumult like the wind, rode up. The hooves of horses dinned loud on the earth. In rage and haste, thus madly eastward they now raced, to find the old and perilous path between the dreadful Gorgorath and Thingol's realm. That was their road, most swift to where their kin abode, far off, where Himring's watchful hill or Aglon's gorge hung tall and still. They saw the wanderers. With a shout, straight on them turned their steeds about, as if 'neath maddened hooves to rend the lovers and their love to end. But as they came, the horses swerved, with nostrils wide and proud necks curved. Curufin, stooping to saddle bow, with mighty arm did Lúthien throw, and laughed. Too soon, for there a spring, fiercer than tawny lion king, maddened with arrows barbed smart, greater than any horned heart that hounded to a gulf leaps o'er, there Beren gave, and with a roar leaped on Curufin, round his neck his arms entwined, and all to wreck, both horse and rider fell to ground, and there they fought without a sound. Dazed in the grass did Lúthien lie, beneath bare branches and the sky. The elf felt Beren's fingers grim fix on his throat and strangle him, and out his eyes did start, and tongue gasping from his mouth there hung. Up rode Celegorm with his spear, and bitter death was Beren near. With elvish steel he nigh was slain, whom Lúthien won from hopeless chain. But baying Huan sudden sprang before his master's face, with fang white gleaming, and with bristling hair, as if he on boar or wolf did stare. The horse in terror leaped aside, and Celegorm in anger cried, "Curse thee, thou base-born dog, to dare against thy master teeth to bear!" But not that horse nor rider bold would venture near the anger cold of mighty Huan, fierce at bay. Red were his jaws. They shrank away, and fearful eyed him from afar. No sword, nor knife, nor scimitar, no dart of bow, nor cast of spear, master nor man did Huan fear. There Curufin had left his life, had Lúthien not stayed that strife. Roused she rose and softly cried, standing distressed at Beren's side, "Forbear thy anger now, my lord, nor do the work of orcs abhorred. For foes there be of elvenness unnumbered, and they grow not less. While here we war by ancient curse distraught, and all the world to worse decays and crumbles. Make thy peace." Then Beren did Curufin release, but took his horse and coat of mail, and took his knife there gleaming pale, hanging sheathless, wrought of steel. No flesh could leeches ever heal that point had pierced, for long ago the dwarves had made it singing slow enchantments, where their hammers fell in Nogrod, ringing like a bell. Iron as tender wood it cleft, and sundered mail like woolen weft. But other hands its haft now held, its master lay by mortal felled. Beren, uplifting him, far him flung, and cried, "Begone!" with stinging tongue. "Arise and go, and no more work like Morgoth's slaves or cursed orc, and deal, proud son of Feanor, in deeds more proud than heretofore." Then Beren led Lúthien away, while Huan still there stood at bay. "Farewell," cried Celegorm the fair. "Far get you gone, and better were to die for hungered in the waste than wrath of Feanor's sons to taste, that yet may reach o'er dale and hill. No gem, nor maid, nor Silmaril shall ever long in thy grasp lie." "We curse thee under cloud and sky," cried Curufin. "Go hence to swift and bitter death. No greater gift awaits thee here in Enarath. Cursed be your fate, cursed be your path. We curse thee from rising unto sleep. Farewell." He swift to horse did leap, his brother lifting him from the ground. Then bow of yew with gold wire bound he strung, and shaft he shooting sent. As heedless hand in hand they went, a dwarfish dart, and cruelly hooked. They never turned nor backward looked. Loud bade Huan, and leaping caught the speeding arrow. Quick as thought another followed deadly singing. But Beren had turned, and sudden springing defended Lúthien with his breast. Deep sank the dart in flesh to rest. He fell to earth. They rode away, and laughing left him as he lay. Yet spurred like wind in fear and dread of Huan's pursuing anger red. Though Curufin with bruised mouth laughed, yet later of that dastard shaft was tale and rumor in the north, and men remembered at the marching forth, and Morgoth's will its hatred helped. I'm in awe of Lúthien's determination at the beginning of today's reading. You talk about your word to my father, Beren, but what about my word to you? Isn't that as strong? I'm not frail, and if you dare to leave me here, I'm not going home. I'm following you, and I love this, until we meet beyond all hope in love once more, on earth or on the shadowy shore. And while Beren probably has a great retort to all of this, the argument is cut short by the arrival of nasty bros, Curufin and Celegorm, who aren't exactly trying to find them, but are heading home when they stumble upon them. And when Curufin stoops to grab Lúthien, Beren would like to have a word around your throat. Celegorm drives on him with his spear ready to kill Beren when Huan jumps in, saving the day. Lúthien convinces Beren to let Curufin live. I love the line, "Do not do the work of orcs abhorred." Beren does the honorable thing. Then he takes Curufin's incredible knife, Angrist as we'll find out, and dismisses the humiliated elf, who along with his brother lays an incredible set of curses on the man. Still, even though they've been allowed to live, they can't leave well enough alone, loosing a couple of arrows. Huan catches one in his teeth, which is pretty impressive, while Beren catches the other in his chest. And that's where we have to leave the story for this week. And folks, that's it for today's First Stage Friday, but come back next week for more. Now, we're soon approaching a return to Fandom Fridays, or at least that's the plan. So if you know anyone who should join me here for a future Fandom Friday, let me know by emailing bartleman@theprancingponypodcast.com. And please visit patreon.com/TolkienTimes to learn how you can support the show, get an ad-free feed, a monthly hangout with me, bonus episodes every week, and more. And join me again tomorrow on today's Tolkien Times as we wrap up this week with Silmarillion Saturday. If you're watching this on YouTube, please be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Please follow or subscribe in your podcast apps and leave reviews wherever you're able. And follow @Tolkien Times on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Finally, as Faramir says, go with the goodwill of all good men.